Hi, it's Rob Mitchell here for Tunes and T.O., and I've run into a great New York City band, the Vandelles, and welcome to Toronto.
Thank you.
And I guess it's a standard first question, but I'll ask it anyways. How'd you guys meet and form this band?
Well, it is a complex question. The internet played a big role. We met through Facebook. I actually searched her out after I had been playing with my friend Dave. And then Dave and Sue knew Alicia, but they both suggested that they had this friend that would come hang out. And then she showed up and was like, "Oh, I know both of you." Yeah. So we worked together for a couple of years.
Telling of the story. Basically, we met in college, but yeah, it's a bad telling. But
I was already half telling the story before we started.
Of, fake origin stories, so we get a little confused when someone wants the real.
In the middle of the desert, that was one of our stories.
Coyote guided us to each other. It was really great. Our spirit guide, so it was really good.
Well, the best part of the story is that Christo, we met in Boston while we were playing up there, and he took us to IHOP.
Don't say it like you don't remember.
And so when Dave left to travel, it was just obvious that Christo was the right choice. And now he's become kind of an amazing, important member of the band. Definitely.
So it's been described, the band is a great term that I like, noir rock. And when you guys formed, when you started songwriting in that, is surf music something that you always gravitated towards, or is that something you found as you started writing songs?
When I was young, my father took me to the beach in Ocean City in Maryland, and he took me to see the Beach Boys. So they were one of the first concerts I ever went to. So I guess that became really integral in my taste in music. And I think...
It's actually the exact same story, except my dad has less hair. So my dad took me to see the Beach Boys at Great Adventure. So I saw them, and we were always just listening to the Beach Boys and Jan and Dean. So it was my dad showing me a lot of kind of surfy California beach rock. So I just always grew up with that. So I just always loved it. Leash, what did your dad take you to?
My dad never took me anywhere. But I also grew up loving the Beach Boys. So it's it's all, we have very similar tastes sometimes in that kind of respect. We all like a lot of old 60s girl group kind of stuff we all really love. So it just kind of melds together that kind of sound and that vibe.
It's really a mixture of three different things, which is kind of the girl group and kind of more pop sensibility stuff like Brian Wilson, Beach Boys, but also darker stuff like Jesus and Mary Chain, noise rock, and then just straight up surf kind of stuff like Dick Dale or Davey Allen, The Ventures.
Yeah.
So it's really a mixture of three different kind of things. So it's not we just have one kind of sound as noir rock. We kind of the one song that we have that really could be classified as noir rock is Lovely Weather, and we kind of did a whole...
Off the new record is going to be very much like that as well.
Yeah, that's also... But All Aloha kind of has a more of a kind of classic, more psych kind of feel to it, whereas
split hairs of what is...
Yeah,
I think
it's in the key of F, so that's more psych. Really.
I differentiate between noir rock and classic noir rock. It's there's just it's such a big difference between the two.
We're sub-genring our own genre.
Yeah. Created it, and now you're just going to take it to a whole new level. When I was listening to your music a lot recently, and it's very suited, I think, to film. And I saw that you recently on your Facebook that you have contributed to a film.
Yeah. So our friend in California did a movie, Treasure of the Black Jaguar. He's done a couple movies. He did our friend Spindrift movie, Legend of God's Gun, right? And now he's got Treasure of the Black Jaguar. He asked us to be on the soundtrack as well as them. And I think he's also got the Upside Down and the Dandy Warhols and a bunch of really great bands. So we're really excited to be a part of the soundtrack. I know he used Bomb the Surf from Del Black Aloha in the trailer, which played all over, and that was really exciting to us.
I only knew about that because my mom called me And she was like, she has an amazing accent, which I won't do, but she was like, Suzanne, do you know that your song is in this movie? And she was really excited.
My mom did the same thing.
Yeah.
That's what moms are for. They go out and do the research. And go, oh, by the way, your music's getting out there.
Trailer, and I was like, thanks,
Great,
mom.
so you never have to Google yourself. Your parents do it for you.
Before Google, there was moms.
There's like a mom app, mom does the work. It's good.
Can you tell me a bit about the record? Yeah, the new one.
It's an ice cream truck anthem.
It's very summery.
It's definitely summery. It's kind of a mix between the EP that we just did and Del Black Aloha, where we met in the middle. Some of the songs are very poppy and very psychedelic in a more pop sense. Maybe like who would you compare it to?
The pop
Compared to an ice cream truck. It's like those like beautiful little bells. Like we have a lot of little bell sounds going on.
It's
and
like
we're actually
The songs are very dark. Some of the songs are very.
like you're enjoying a nice ice cream on the beach, and then a storm rolls in.
Yeah. It's like
and
a
then
Florida
like
beach
a
party.
pirate comes up to you. It's like so it's got that dark thing going on.
We consciously made the effort to make some of the songs more in the more psychedelic, darker vein, just because our EP was so poppy and so bright. And as much as we love that, we like having the span, a mix of that. And we didn't want to get more away from Del Black Aloha because that's so much of like what you're talking about, the noir sound. So now we're trying to find a middle ground.
So is that where the darkness comes from? Just
Darkness comes from within.
The darkness come from England.
It comes from Sue's black little heart.
I would never have known that.
It's pretty dark.
It's pretty black.
It's pretty black.
It's red.
Black as the sky on a moonless night. It's true. Yeah.
But we're recording it next week. So man, it's kind of ready to go. We're excited. We're recording at Rad Studios.
Yeah, we're recording at a studio called Rad Studio where they've recently done a lot of artists that we like. A band called Hooray for Earth, Twin Shadow. They did a Das Racist album recently that hasn't come out yet. Our manager has instilled appreciation in them to me, so I actually like that band now. Where I thought they were a joke band initially, they're actually really talented, and I don't even listen to that much hip hop, so it's like I don't know, it's good.
Area too. Our space is in Bushwick in Brooklyn, and but Heem's just moved to Queens. Whatever.
That's also gangsta.
How has New York influenced your music, if at all?
And that's kind of where the dark comes from, because it's like if we lived in some like sunny, like super happy place.
Miami or
Yeah,
LA.
so it's kind of like I think the EP is kind of like Coney Island. It's like it's the beach, it's pretty, but there's kind of a lot of crap
Or the
around
shore,
too.
it's kind of Jersey
It's
Shore.
like kind of
Good.
dirty.
That's a really good metaphor.
grimy, but it's badass, you know.
New York's just also really great because you can kind of you don't necessarily need to have to like seek out gigs. It's like a lot of gigs get kind of like almost just placed in your lap just because so many people are coming through playing, whatever, small shows, DIY venues in Bushwick, or, a touring band coming through and playing Mercury Lounge in Manhattan. There's like a big span of things that, you can play if you're not even the biggest band in the world. If you're a band in New York, you can play Mercury Lounge. You don't necessarily have to be the biggest band. So it's kind of nice to have both things going on, like nice professional venues and DIY. And there's just, there's so many venues. There are so many venues. And
Every band that you like is going to come through New York, so you at least get to play with them, if not see them. There are good venues and stuff. It's great. It's really fun. But next month we're playing with our friends from Austin, Ringo Death Star, at this really cool venue, and we got to put the show together, and do it how we wanted to. And I don't know, New York is just great that it lets you do that kind of thing if you want to.
Yeah, like if you have that entrepreneurial spirit and you want to go out and make things happen, you can make things happen there.
And Christo loves screen printing as well, and he's able to do all the printing for the shows and that kind of stuff because the venues that you pick for a more DIY type of show will let you do all the promotion yourself, and it's great.
Like as you said, you're recording the album next week, and then are you guys putting that out independently, or?
We haven't decided yet. That's a big question. I'm giving the generic no one has offered answer, but I don't want to
We
seem...
don't want to look desperate, So like, playing it cool, It's good.
I mean, at this point with the internet, you can release yourself and do just as great as if you had a label. So we're kind of teetering between the choices.
Well, then if you're going to be touring and doing as many shows as you can, that gets it out there, right?
Yeah, definitely. touring is fun too. Here we are in Toronto.
Yeah, Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to go to different places and see stuff, definitely. Like when we go to Austin. I know that sounds stupid, but a lot of bands go on tour and don't get to see anything, you know? So luckily lately we've been able to have time where we go. So that's great.
No, that's why I love going out and traveling and doing this kind of work too, because you go out and meet people, and that's what it's all about for me, is going out and meeting as many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the last time we played North by Northeast a couple years ago, and like I just fell in love with like all like the Canadian people here because they like love music, and like in New York everyone's really cool and like they don't want to act like they like you. Right? They're like, oh, I don't want to, you know, you got to work for their affection. And like Canada, everyone's like, we love music and it's awesome. So it's
They
just
just
so
heart on their
enthusiastic.
sleeve.
Yeah.
Bless their hearts.
Yes, it's true.
Well, thanks, guys. It was great meeting you guys, and best of luck, and enjoy being here, and I can't wait to see you guys play tonight. Thank you.
Thanks so much, man.
This is 7